Welcome, welcome, welcome. A very warm welcome to all of you, DC Heroes United. Wherever we are across the world, you are in the right place for our community stream. I've already seen some of you in the chat. We got Mutt, we got Dr. Zadium. Thank you so much for being here. Nice and early on time. Love you for it. Now, we're going to talk about Lex's Every Hero project because, again, first story arc has concluded. I'm going to be your host and presenter, Eduardo. I'll accompany you throughout this community stream. What we're going to do, as usual, what's in store today is going to appear right here magically, or I think it's magic, thanks to our production team. And essentially, we're going to kind of dive through it, right? So, look, Batman got an absolutely delightful costume 2 weeks ago. I will not apologize for that terrible pun. We're going to dive deep, though, into the strategies on Batman because it's been a while and things have changed. You're starting to do harder maps. So we're going to look into kind of the strategy with Batman as you dive into harder maps, harder challenges. What we're going to do is we're going to speak about one of those harder challenges, Lexcorp Lab. We're going to dive into both of the gold challenges because it's possible to do both in one run. So like as a package, right? And then finally, of course, as always, those game updates. But essentially here, for fans of the absolute line of skins we've had, I got another nice addition for you this week, but we'll talk about that later. We're also going to talk about strategy for events. So that way, when you have things like the absolute skins that pop up, or you generally want to maximize your tickets at these events, you'll want to listen in, get that advice. So we're going to talk all that today. But first, as usual, to start us off, a recap of what DC Heroes United is all about. It's about you. You collectively are determining how Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman work together and how they will handle the challenges they face throughout our story, leading up to the very formation of the Justice League. And it is the story of these heroes told anew, empowered by you. Now, first story arc has concluded, right? We had those 4 episodes. But your actions in Lex's Every Hero project will influence our story. So again, I want to make sure you're well aware of the game, all the little strategies, all the little tips and tricks to make your runs, your maps, get those challenges a little more easy, a little more palatable as you play on in the weeks ahead. And of course, I'm sure that a lot of you have experience and can help each other out in the chat. That'd be fantastic. So let's dive into it, though. I promised Batman, we're going to talk into it. So 2 weeks ago, right, we introduced Absolute Batman. So we're going to dive deep into what makes Batman an absolute force to be reckoned with within Lex's Every Hero product. Many of you have had Batman as that first hero, right? That's how you got introduced to the game. So since then, of course, you had different heroes. But what we're going to do, we're going to dive back into the hero that started it all for you, look into some more advanced strategies, kind of the default base build that Batman kind of falls into, but what you can do from that. So essentially, the base is pretty locked, but what can we do from that base is a little more interesting. So we also have, additional superheroes also means better tools, right? Because as you've managed to develop the other heroes, Batman's arsenal grows. And again, Batman, very much an all-rounded, gadget-focused superhero, right? As you can see here, the good news, any piece of equipment beneficial to him as a result. Here you see the Batarangs. Again, levels 10, 30, and 80 are when those evolve. That's really important because the Hellfire Batarangs especially, when you level up the Batarangs, the Evolve Batarangs, the Hellfire Batarangs are really the ones getting that upgrade. So again, Batman, you kind of want that array of versatility. You want to experiment with different equipment. Batman is the superhero. He truly is the one for you. Now, specialty for Batman, projectiles. We talked about it very early on, a couple of months now, actually. It's been a while. But it's all about having projectiles, all about having a ton of them on screen. So again, base build, similar, but how we finish it off matters a lot. So what do you want to do when you have Batman? First off, you want to evolve the Batarangs to the Hellfire Batarangs. So get those levels in Batarangs, get the armor, because that'll get you more projectiles. Also, if you get Batman to level 60, the speciality makes that the projectiles deal damage over time, which is fantastic. It really helps kind of that dodging playstyle. So and also, by the way, you're talking about like how the extra projectiles with Batman's are fantastic, but you like Superman extra life and durability more for the higher levels. And actually, not really to spoil, but we'll talk about that because I main Superman, so I'm more than happy as well to talk about it. on those differences too. But yeah, you are right. Those extra projectiles for Batman are awesome. As a result, though, there are two active abilities that are projectiles: Sound Blaster and Boulder. So they benefit from Batman's speciality. And if you like to main Batman, you probably want Cyborg and Bane at least at level 30, because that powers up those active abilities for Batman as well. Passive abilities, you kind of want to link it up, right? So we have armor, but we also want wing boost and lore book, because those evolve the projectile abilities. You at least want one level in each. And then the question is, what are the other four? So here, you want to play strategically? You just want to focus on projectiles and dodging? I'd go with Reality Fields and Magic Vortex. Get Battery and Shield with that. That's the kind of dodgy that Batman. That's the one that weaves and goes in between. Then we have that tech-focused Batman, right? Lex's Energy Blades, Blue Beetle's Drone, alongside a Tractor and Gauntlet. We got that thematic. And before I get into the build, that's going to be important. Yeah, before you used to main Wonder Woman favorite Hippo because she has the most starts. But yeah, it's early on, of course, you take the hero that's the most promoted to get through the levels. But got to rediscover the old classics, as we say. But we got the old classics made anew, especially for you, because I got a build that matches more the thematic of Absolute Batman. We gave you the skin. We got to give you that vibe. So I got the build just for you. That's going to be up on our screen. Fantastic stuff. So this Absolute Batman build is Batarang, Sonic Blaster, and Boulder. We knew these. Lasso of Truth, Heat Vision. We combine those passives. Armor, Wing Boots, Lore Book, but we also have Health Boost and Regenerate. And then equipment, Lexcorp, Wrist Guards, and Amazonian Belt. Now, why is this the Absolute Batman build? It's because this is my take on it. Essentially, Absolute Batman is bulky, wants to get in there, has that kind of muscle. So yes, we take the projectile speciality because you need those free specific abilities. But Lasso of Truth and Heat Vision reward those who really want to get in the thick of the action, as you're going to see on your screen as well, right? And on top of that, you get to combine with my favorite passive ability combo in the game, Health Boost and Regenerate. Absolutely massive for anybody who wants to get in the thick of the action. And of course, as you see, Boulder doesn't actually hurt the look of Absolute Batman, right, as well. I think it works really well inside the thematic. So one of the nice parts about this build is the equipment you can wear is versatile. But by having Lexcorp Wrist Guard, that helps the healing. Amazonian Belt increases defense. So in this way, right, it's kind of, you want Batman in the heart of the action, but you don't want Batman taking too much damage. So as those levels of armor go up, you want to make sure Batman can survive before we get there. So that's kind of the interaction, right? You got, again, the Batarangs, the Boulder, Sonic Blaster, but we're combining with Lasso of Truth and Heat Vision to kind of create this bulky Batman unit. Armor, Health Boost, Regenerate, that triad, literally from the Trinity, makes any superhero so resilient. So that's what you want. If you're interested in a Batman that pulls no punches and takes down enemies directly, this build is for you. Okay, so that's kind of Absolute Batman. You can see him being an absolute powerhouse there on the side as well. But we're going to talk about the challenge, right? So in this segment, we talk about challenges that are difficult to beat, even if your character is quite powerful. You're revisiting some of these. You might have upgraded, gotten a lot of maps, but still have trouble with these. So this third one can be done quite safely in reality compared to some of the other two we've explored before, if you know what to expect. So we're talking about the dual challenge of map 3, Lexcorp Lab Gold. And the Batmobile is the most fun super move when you just jump in and do it all. So in this Lexcorp Lab challenge, we want to beat the map without using health packs, and we want to defeat the final boss without taking projectile damage. And it's doable quite easily if you know what you're doing again. So what do we want? We want to talk about our choices. We got Superman here, we got Wonder Woman, and then finally, my last recommendation is Blue Beetle, who's there. They're what I believe are decent choices for this challenge, because you kind of want a superhero with good defense, good HP, and they kind of qualify the best. So I like them as a result. I strongly especially recommend Superman and Wonder Woman specifically. But, you could use any, but I would avoid Dr. Fate entirely, because Dr. Fate's speciality is a problem when you can't pick up health packs. And Lex could be problematic because Attractor is something you need to avoid, so you wouldn't be able to evolve Energy Blades, as we're going to discuss now. So, challenge is in two parts. part one, we want to survive until the final boss. And then when we get there, we want to make sure we're not taking projectile damage from him. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the survival aspect, because this is really about running out that clock of 10 minutes. So again, this challenge, easy or difficult, depending on where you are. If you feel it's difficult and want an easier time, you can kind of progress your characters and come back. But sometimes people want a challenge, and I get it. So you might want a lower level character and try this one out. But the key here, right, you see Wonder Woman here. The important part isn't the offensive side so much, it's the defensive side. You want key passive abilities to increase your survivability. You want health boost. You want regenerate. You want shield. You want armor. You essentially want things that make your character as resilient as possible. Kind of any active ability as a result works. You really just want to survive. You see health boost there, especially if you take Wonder Woman. Very important because it involves a loss of truth. But as a result, I also recommend Lexcorp's wrist guards, as I do often, as well as any defensive leaning equipment. You're in here for the long haul. Now, in a way, this challenge flips the script, right? Health packs can be really helpful, but in this challenge, they are essentially a poisonous mine. So you don't want to pick up health packs. So there's two dangers with that, right? Often you'll see health packs around the map. It's easy to dodge them, but there are two problems. One, when you defeat the mid-boss, a health pack gets dropped. Now, it's away from the chest, so you can just collect the chest, but it sometimes gets hidden behind the ultimate charge. So don't pick up that ultimate charge with the health pack behind, because you will fail the challenge. So make sure to be careful with the mid-boss. Number two, you want to not take a tractor. This challenge might actually not be possible if you take a tractor with certain levels, because then you'll start absorbing health packs from further, and it's going to make your life really difficult for this challenge. So again, careful at the mid-boss, no tractor. So that's where we're at. Again, having trouble, come back later. But that's the survivability side. Second challenge, right? The avoiding projectiles. The rest of your run, we're setting up. You can see it here with Solar Flare. We're making our character as powerful as possible, increasing our damage output, because if the boss doesn't last long, you don't have to dodge as many projectiles. Solar Flare is really important because specifically it absorbs projectiles, it destroys them. So if you have that, if you have shield as well, you're going to be in a great position for when the boss comes, because you'll have a way to negate projectile damage with the shield, and you'll be able to have Solar Flare deal damage very fast to the boss, plus absorb projectiles. So that's the main part. Of course, battery can be a really nice final passive ability with both of these. But here's the thing. The clock hits 10. The boss is going to appear. And this is important. Go right. Because when that boss appears, you're always starting in the top left of kind of the arena, wherever you are in the map, except like on the edges. So like when the boss appears, you are basically top left. If you go right, you're dodging those first projectiles. At 10, the boss will appear and start shooting right away. That's how you can lose this challenge. You could have done this map for 10 minutes and lose the challenge on the spot. So make sure you are going to the right. Yeah, I fell into that trap many times. So I'm sorry for you there. But that's how you can avoid it is boss appears, swing right. Once that happens, you can loop around the boss, as we kind of saw, as you kind of had a chance to see on the video. There's two patterns, right? The bullets will follow you around. The boss will do that. If you can't damage as much as you can see in the video, usually what will happen is the boss will spin around and shoot projectiles. In that case, angle yourself with heat vision / solar flare to damage the boss while destroying projectiles, and the boss should go down relatively fast. The main thing, go right when the projectiles start. The rest is, I believe, doable for you. But I wanted to make sure you didn't fall into that pit trap. And we got out of it nice, safely, and with the challenge completed and cleared for you, and the rewards in your pocket. As you see there, free stars. All right. So I hope that you got some great, I hope that this advice was useful, but if it was not, I hope that it reminded you of what you had to go through. So look, before we dive into kind of those game updates, some quick tips with you from our team about Lex's Every Hero product. So for this week, they're free. Quick tip number 1. At this point, events are a weekly fixture. They're also your best chance in reality, along with challenges at upgrading your superheroes and equipment. So make sure to have a good event strategy. We'll cover that today, though, to give you that base. Quick tip number 2. Well, challenges, clear them when you can, because the rewards you get from challenges make it so that you can actually clear harder maps. You actually get a lot of rewards for challenges, so it is worth revisiting earlier levels and actually increasing the difficulty of them to collect the rewards from challenges rather than simply carrying on in the maps. Revisit, clear it all, get all those 9 stars. And then finally, quick tip number 3, think of superheroes as teams. Well, we think about it during the shows, but in the game, it's the same. Because, for example, Batman and Bane in Lex's Every Hero project are a team. Because as Batman levels up, and Bane level up, right? They benefit each other. Batman benefits from Bane at a high level because Boulder's stronger, and Batman wants Boulder. And Bane enjoys the Batarangs because they are weapons that go across the map, and Bane has that insta-kill percentage chance. So having a weapon like Batarangs going around the map can be really helpful. So again, think about it that way. When you have superheroes in your group, don't just think about your main, think about who's going to team up the best with that main. What are the abilities you have? So those are my quick tips for you this week. All right. I'm not going to wait. I'm sure some of you have guessed what's going on. And, we got something really neat for you this week. Personally, this is the main I have. So I'm excited. I am excited to let you know that you can sport this look, the Absolute Superman look. Look, we've had the Absolute Universe come into Lex's Every Hero product. This is another edition. This is the character I made, so I'm super excited about trying to get this one. So I'm going to share my strategy with you on how I'm going to get Absolute Superman. And look, 2 weeks ago, we got Batman. Last week, we had Absolute Wonder Woman that was available to all of you. Now, this is completing the Trinity and gets you that Absolute Superman. I did like Santa Superman, but as they say, serious stuff. So it's going to be a challenge because as last week's, it's 1,600 tickets. There you can see a little more of an in-game style look, but you need to collect enough tickets, right? You need 1,600. That's quite a bit, but then it's yours to have forever. So you want to take part in the event to lock in this skin. So we're going to discuss event strategy. We're going to give you that best shot getting this Absolute Superman skin. I'm going to detail my recommended strategy to get the tickets you need in 3 days. You can get it. Any of you, irrespective of where you are in the game, irrespective of anything you've done, you will be able to get that Absolute Superman skin in our event in 3 days. 4 if you want to, but you can get it in 3 days reliably. So we're going to start day 1, day 2. Same strategy on each of these days. You want to take these steps. So when you go into the kind of event, which is in the play section, there's the little square for events. There's actually a bundle section. Now, what some of you may not know is that there are bundles that are free against ads. You can watch that bundle 4 times. That bundle also gives you 10 tickets, but it makes you watch an ad. And since there are missions that get you a lot of tickets with ad, that's wrong. So first off, use the ad bundle on day 1 twice and on day 2 twice. So that's your limit. Then you want to open the silver and gold chest with ads. And then you're going to complete your daily goals. You want to open the silver chest from your daily goals. And finally, to complete those daily goals, what I recommend is to play 2 maps, beating at least 1,000 enemies. Now, you might be more comfortable in some maps. You might be able to defeat more, but at least 1,000 enemies in at least 2 maps. As a result of this, the number of mission tickets you're going to claim, right? The main thing is just logging in and watching those 4 ads is 200 tickets, and then your actions will complete that up to a total of 357 tickets on day 1 and 357 tickets on day 2. So combo that up. We're moving to day 3. These are the steps I recommend. So again, we're talking silver and gold chests with ads. We're talking that silver chest from daily goals. You want to spend 20 story tokens. You can do that on day 1, technically, of course, but by day 3, you should have had enough story tokens from your daily goals, even if you're near 0. And then you want to spend those 20 on the decisions we have available for you. That's going to be really important. After that, again, play 2 maps, beat 1,000 enemies at least, so your daily play. All of these will get you in missions to have 340 tickets more. So we are at 1,054 tickets, and this should be doable by any of you in minimal time and effort. And that's why it's kind of my recommended strategy is I know some of you will have progressed very far and maybe not be able to level up your heroes as much as you'd like. So this way you don't have to, but if you're progressing, you'll get all those bonuses. So we're going to discuss there's still 546 tickets remaining. So for the rest of the strategy, that depends on your situation. So, for example, you could decide instead of like the maps you clear, right? If you start clearing some of the later maps, that's where you'll get low enemy totals because you don't survive long. But you could always choose to do earlier maps where you're comfortable, you're going to survive the 10-minute mark. And that usually means you'll kill 5,000 enemies a run. Now, if you dispatch 30,000 enemies total, that's going to be 342 additional tickets in the missions. On top of that, you're doing these full runs, you're killing bosses, right? So that grants those additional tickets. And as a result, doing 6 full map runs is going to be about 180 tickets on top. So 342, 180, we needed 546. We're almost there. Not far. Now, the other thing is, merging equipment is actually a ton of tickets. The first piece of equipment you merge is 75 tickets because it clears a weekly goal. And each additional time you merge equipment is 25 tickets. But you're opening silver and gold chests, so even if you don't have equipment to merge, you will naturally get some. So every time you get to merge equipment, you get tickets. After that, we got additional login days. So if you don't manage it in 3 days, on day 4, you can log in. Each login is 50 tickets from the mission. On top of that, the 4th day specifically is plus 50 tickets because you do a weekly goal. So logging in that 4th day is 100 tickets and then 50 on top, plus silver and gold chests with ads. So you get 60 tickets. So every day you get a bunch of tickets to get to that goal. And finally, clear those weekly goals that remain, clear the daily goals that remain. That gets you additional tickets. Each weekly goal is worth 50 tickets each. So, with all of these strategies, this is really for you to decide, okay, what's good with me? Like, what do I want to play? Do I have a calmer week? I have more time to dedicate. I want to play longer maps. Then you're more on the clear, earlier maps, killing bosses. You're like, I'm busy this week. I'll just log, I'll not be as intense. I'll just log in a few extra times, I'll come in on that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th day and get that, and that'll get me the tickets. And then when I want to play a bit more, I got the absolute Superman skin in the game. So that's really it, right? It depends on what you have going on in your life. You get to pick your strategy based on who you are and what you are experiencing. As a result of the above, I hope that you do get to enjoy the absolute Superman skin, and that the strategies that you saw are going to be useful for you, regardless of what future events we have in store for you and what you are hunting for. But a summary, very importantly, if you want the most tickets for kind of your buck or your bang, so to speak, daily logins, watching ads, defeating enemies, merging items. That's the core drawer. You log in, you watch those ads, defeat enemies by playing those kind of deep early maps, merging items. That's your best chance of getting a lot from missions. As a result, good luck in the event this week. Have fun with it, and I want to see you sporting that brand new look and enjoying it. Look, little small reminder as well. We have had a lot of newer players come in to Lex's Every Hero product. If you're experienced, this won't be any new information. Don't worry, I'll go through it quite fast. But you got that absolute skin. Makes you want to try a different superhero. You got new equipment, but you're low on level up chips or credits. So we're talking reset of your character, reset of your equipment. So as you can see on your side, that's the equipment reset, but we're going to start with the superhero reset in just a bit. There we go. So you want to go in, level up. Then there's at the bottom right-hand corner, a little thing. You get to see as well the cost of resetting your hero in gems. So if you click on that button, you get to essentially reset. You get back the level up chips, you get back the credits, and you can transfer those only to another superhero. Then after that as well, we got the equipment reset. Now, the equipment reset is totally free to do. So while the superheroes you have to consider, is this the right time? Should I do this? Different for each person. The equipment is totally free because essentially if you have a new piece of equipment, you should just do it. There's the dismantle button in the bottom right. You can level down and you get back your blueprints and your credits free of charge. So you get a new piece of equipment, you want to try different equipment, just drain it from one, put it in the other, no cost to you. Enjoy the equipment the way you want, totally fluid, totally flexible on that level up. Yeah. So, we got a lot going on here. So, Mud enjoys watching the ads in this one. So well, I'm glad the rewards are speaking to you. Jolly Whacktail 16, make Hall of Fate easier. Honestly, I agree with you. Hall of Fate is so hard. Like, that was like, by the way, the next map is going to feel even worse for you. I'm very sorry to say. But Hall of Fate was like it was the basic enemies, but like the difficulty felt really hard. So like, but keep at it. And you know, I know that when you get to Hall of Fate as well, there's some challenges you need to clear. So yeah. And Eager Puma 66, the absolute skins look so cool. I'm glad you do enjoy them. We've had actually a lot of feedback from all of you in the community. And honestly, even from people who aren't playing DC Heroes United, loving the fact that we're using kind of skins from the Absolute Universe, and it's been fantastic to see the reaction from fans across the globe on that. So like we honestly, our team has loved seeing it, and we love that you've been enjoying it too. So okay, all right, we're gonna be closing all of this down, but before we close down, again, want to make sure you have the chance to showcase your gameplay with the rest of the audience and community. So again, if there's a challenge you're proud of clearing, send it in. You got our tags here. You can mention or tag us. Screenshot of your proudest in-game achievement. We'll shout you out in the next stream, which will be Wednesday, March 26th. You can check out all our platforms there. Mention us, tag us. We'll figure it out as long as we see that lovely screenshot. Honestly, the toughest part for me is I don't know how to take a screenshot on the phone sometimes. I don't know, maybe the white hair is showing, but you know. But I'm glad that you're loving the game and digging the show. So yeah, so on the ads as well, I know that our development team does watch the show, so your feedback has literally been noted by the dev team. They're seeing it. Thank you so much. Someone screenshot Hall of Fate. Oh, I mean, like obviously, like I play to like learn, but and I'm sorry to the community. Like I've managed to clear the last map, but not many people have, so don't worry. It's we're well aware. We want to make sure, you know, it's that balance between, we have people who have really gone deep, really gone to the end, cleared all the challenges, and then we have people that are joining us every day. So we want to make sure that regardless of what your level of experience is, your level of achievement, you have a great time with us. But for today, I really, again, want to thank you all for being here. I hope you had a delightful time chatting about the game, learning about the game, getting that update. And I mean, you probably suspected Absolute Superman was coming out with that little sequence, but I hope that you're glad it got confirmed. It's going to do us for this week's community stream. Remember that the game, the story evolve in the weeks to come, and they're a result very much of your decisions. That's why our development team is very much looking forward to seeing what you will decide in the coming days. Because as usual, the story needs one last ingredient to be fully written. You. Next stream, Wednesday, March 26th, noon Pacific. We're going to uncover brand new updates to Alexa's Every Hero product. I'll give you a brand new character strategy. We'll look at a challenge, trying to find cool things that I think you would love. So, of course, I read what you're interested in. I try to talk about things that are relevant to you at home. So, but these community streams are very much about that opportunity for all of us to hang out with all of you and the rest of the community. So I look very much forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time, noon Pacific, Wednesday, March 26th. Wherever you are around the world, I wish you a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Do take care.